What's up, everyone? Welcome to another week of What You're Missing. This is going to be a brief week. I mean, we've got Thanksgiving coming up. Um, there are a whole bunch of games that are being released, but not a lot of news that jumped out at me. There are a few things that I thought were worth mentioning, but it's going to be really short, so I apologize in advance if you were hoping for something much more involved and deep. You're not going to get that today. So, right off the bat, I read an article about GameStop and an investor call that they were on, or that GameStop was having with their investors, and they were talking about how the way that Sony and Microsoft and probably a lot less so Nintendo are bundling games with their consoles and are giving games away with their services like Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus, and the way that their digital marketplace is becoming a much more of a used thing, that GameStop is it would honestly, it would be really, they would be very short-sighted and willfully ignorant if they didn't see the writing on the wall for themselves at this point. So they were making comments about how they need to defend their form of business, and how people how they need to keep people buying the actual games physically and trading them in, and basically it was them talking about how they need to maintain the old way of things and not really hoping and coming up with ideas for how to change with the industry. So they were I don't know whether it was the article or what came up in the call, is that they were uh, trying not to go the way of Tower Records and Blockbuster Video, in that they were both very large retail chains until the digital era sort of changed things. So, and it was more than the digital era, obviously, with some of those. Like Blockbuster, you have Netflix and Redbox and, Amazon Prime and a lot of these other things. So anyway, so they're worried, and rightfully so, or if they're not, they should be, that they will be the next one of those. And if they have investor calls, or at least meetings and strategy planning sessions within the company that aren't coming up with new ideas and ways to change, they will be the next version, and it may already be too late. So, I mean, you've got Steam. They've basically completely gotten rid of PC games in GameStop. There's a small section in Best Buys these days, but between Steam and all of these, all of these game companies have their own little store. You've got uh, Origin, you've got Uplay. Thankfully, that's going away at some point, hopefully soon. Um, there's, I think, one other. But anyway, I mean, then you've got websites like Amazon sending out games that you can either buy a code with digitally or order the game directly from them. You've got Green Man Gaming, where you can buy codes and then use them on Steam. Good Old Games, Humble Bundle has games for sale there. There's all kinds of places on the internet where you're going to be able to find games that is not going down to GameStop and buying it there. So I think that the console market is going to catch up to the PC market in that respect, in that they're going to be far more digital, and it's just going to be a much more convenient thing. So GameStop is in trouble. They may be like AOL, they may never go away. They may be able to charge large prices because there are going to be some places where people don't have access to the internet in the same way that AOL is still relevant there. GameStop may still be relevant there because people aren't going to be like downloading and streaming games on their 14400 baud modem. So anyway, uh, on to I guess Shadow of Mordor released an update that's free that allows you to play as a woman, and they've got who the actual person is. It's the daughter of Lady so and so, and I haven't played the game, so I don't know. But this is it. It seems very much after the fact, and a hasty attempt to, I don't know, set themselves up for to avoid a backlash from the feminist community or from people like myself who think that women should be more represented in games. And so, okay, it's nice that you can now play as a woman in this game, but all of the cutscenes still show the original guy, and so you can just run around in the world with a different skin on your character. So, okay, we're like moving in the right direction, I guess, but I don't know. It just seems half-assed and after the fact. So, better luck next time. And then lastly, there are two peripherals that are on Kickstarter. One is really ridiculous and one is only pretty ridiculous. So the first one, these guys have a history of somewhat asinine and frat boyish prank type games or websites or videos. And their latest thing is that they're sort of couching it in terms of giving back and donating blood. So their thing, and you're probably not knowing anything. You heard me mention giving blood, and your mind is racing, and rightfully so, because their device hooks up intravenously, and then when your controller rumbles, it draws blood. And of course, they say, well, you enter your weight, your age, your previous medical conditions so that we don't draw too much. But the idea is that in a game like Call of Duty, or I guess that type of game specifically is the only one that this would actually work in, when the controller rumbles, it means you're getting shot and you're losing blood in the game. And so they're going to mimic that with their device so that you actually lose blood in real life. And then maybe that blood will get, donated somewhere. I don't know. Can you imagine gamers sitting like with an intravenous thing where blood is being drawn every time they get shot in a game? And what are they going to do? Get up, take out the IV, take their blood bag over to the fridge or I don't know. This is really stupid, but yeah, they're looking for $250,000. So if you have so much money that you're just, wiping your ass with it, then by all means, go and give these people your money. Also on the list of somewhat ridiculous peripherals that are on Kickstarter for gaming, there's one that it's a little plastic device that you sit on your chest, you take a magnet, you put it down, and the thing sticks on the front. You connect it between your audio source, whether that's your controller or the console or your PC or whatever, and your headphone, and then certain levels of bass make this thing thump you in the chest so that you feel as though it gives a big feeling. So I guess you can use that with your gaming chair that has a subwoofer built into the seat so that your butt feels it as well as your chest. And you can get the Sony, what are they called? The Pulse Elites that have the thumping built into them. Now those are actually pretty cool and they work really well. Maybe more so for music than games because it's a frequency range that triggers them for the most part. But anyway, you could pair them all together and your whole body could be thumping every time something thumps in the game. So, yeah, thumping. There you have it. And that's all I got for this week. So, for those of you who aren't in the U.S., we have Thanksgiving this week, which means nobody's really going to be around Thursday or Friday. I will be traveling, so I will be one of those people who's not around. Hopefully I'll be back Saturday, and if not then definitely Sunday. And yeah, I think that's all I've got. So thanks for watching. If you have any comments or jokes based on what you heard today, or things that you think I should read that maybe I didn't, hit me up with a comment. Go hit subscribe, tell your friends, hit the thumbs up button because you like what I'm doing here, and I will see you tomorrow.